these sales superstars from these big brands cannot transition to work for small businesses. I have personally seen this in my business when I hired a sales superstar from a very large Fortune 500 company, and multiple friends of mine have confirmed the same thing. Why does this happen? And how do you tackle this problem? When do you get this guy from this big company to come and accelerate your sales? So these are the questions that we're going to be answering today. Large brands have a very strong inbound marketing program. This means that they're getting tons of leads from their website, from their social media, and from all the campaigns, including the paid campaigns which are being run by their marketing departments or an advertising agency that they've hired. This means that you as a consumer would search for, let's say, wooden flooring, and you would see this big brand pop up, and you'd click on it and contact them. So large brands have this great lead gen inbound program set up, which gives them a continuous supply of leads. Now what happens to these leads is the leads are qualified and then put in the CRM and then passed on to the sales guys. Now sales guys' job is to add context to those leads and explain the value proposition and handle objections before they close a deal with a prospect. Now the same thing translated to a small company does not work at that scale. So the sales guys don't have enough leads from the inbound marketing which is being done by the small business, and they don't have enough meetings to fill up their CRM. And eventually they are not able to hit the quota that they want just because they don't have enough leads to act upon. Now for a sales executive to be successful for a small business, he needs enough meetings, enough leads for him to act upon. If this does not happen, sales quotas are not being met, your targets are not being achieved, and that leads to disappointment for both the business owner as well as the sales executive. Now, two things happen or could happen at this stage. A, the sales guy is going to put in his papers because he doesn't see the small business as a viable step in his career growth, and he would rather go back to a big business and be more comfortable in the environment that he's come from. The other thing that could happen is because of a revised revenue expectation, the small business owner might just ask the sales guy to leave. And this just causes bad blood and bad relationships all across the table. Now, how do we avoid this? How do we have enough leads available for sales guys to act upon? There are three ways to do lead generation. The first one is inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is a methodology which allows customers, visitors, and prospects to come to your website or your social media. So it's just a way of drawing in these guys and these visitors so they are exposed to your content and your product or your service, and then they eventually get in your sales funnel. So it's about drawing people and drawing visitors in based on your content, which allows them to learn more about what the problems are, how you are solving those problems. So for example, if I am looking for waterproof engineered flooring, then I would naturally go to Google and search for how to waterproof my flooring, or is there a concept or a product which is automatically waterproof. So this is the kind of content I would search online and I would get results. Based on those results, I would go to those websites to learn more and find possible solutions. Now, inbound marketing is great. It takes a lot of time. The challenge I see with inbound marketing today is that there is so much content out there, and it's very difficult for a smaller business to rank. So my advice related to inbound marketing is you definitely need to have a program, but be aware that it's going to take time for you to build this, and you're not going to get immediate results out of this program. You could get immediate results by advertising, using PPC advertising or display-based advertising. Now that will just crank up your traffic, you will get inbound visitors, and then you need to come up with a funnel to capture those visitors and then push them down your funnel to eventually lead to a conversion or a meeting. Think of inbound marketing like casting a wide net and you're throwing that net in the ocean. You will catch fish. Some fish you like, some you don't. So these are your leads which are qualified, and then there are leads which are not qualified. Generally, using this mechanism, you will not catch a whale. That's debatable, but in my experience, it's difficult. So you are driving traffic, inbound traffic to your website through your content or through paid media, and then you're converting those visitors to your website or landing pages or social media to prospects, which eventually lead to more meetings or conversions for you. The goal of an SDR is to generate meetings for your sales teams. So an SDR would typically prospect, find the right customer or prospect based on your ideal customer profile. He would engage in a conversation with that prospect, build a rapport, and eventually pass off the relationship when they're ready to meet to a sales executive. In cases where a software demo is required, so an SDR would generally give that demo and eventually pass it off to the sales executives or account executives who would handle objections, add context, and close the deal. This approach is generally really powerful in the B2B world, and this is a simple way to generate maximum meetings for your sales teams and eventually maximum revenue. The third way of lead gen is through your customer success teams. Now, I recommend every business which has a revenue of over $1 million should have a customer success team. Now, the job of the customer success manager or director is to make sure A, the customers are happy with the product or the service. So they would regularly do like an NPS survey out of a scale of 0 to 10 to determine whether the customer is happy or not. And if the customer is happy, they would ask for a referral. If the customer is not happy, they would work internally to make sure that the customer is happy, get a testimonial. Now you see a feedback loop. Now this testimonial goes back on social media or on your website. This is the logo which goes on your website. Happy customers lead to more referrals and more sales. All three forms of lead gen that we spoke about today, which is inbound marketing, outbound prospecting, and customer success loops, are tough to implement for small business owners. It can be done, but it just takes commitment, initiative, and time. Now, this is where consultants like me step in and help businesses set up their lead gen engine to make sure that you have enough leads for your sales guys to activate. So if you sell to other businesses and are looking to catch whales, those big accounts, consider outbound prospecting and reach out to me to see if the strategy will work for your business or not.